Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Marriott from the Rebirth. Make sure you tune in to this episode. We have me, Shaq Stinnett, also known as Radio Shack, is going to be with us. And we also have the founders of the Delaware Caribbean Carnival that's going to be coming in August. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
It's your time to renew, rebuild, and restore. Let's go.
Yo, what up, Rebirth family? Happy Monday.
What's up? Happy Monday. I see you trying to hog the mic tonight.
Yeah, I don't want you to say Nathan. After last week's show, you was defending them with the Badri brothers.
Whatever.
Like
you found the name?
Nah, I don't know. I just made it.
Whatever. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Rebirth. Thank you for joining us. It's so nice to be here again.
Yes. And who are you? Let the people know.
I am Shay. And who are you?
Oh, I am Eli. I go off your energy.
Whatever.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? You know what it is.
Yes, you do know what it is. Thank you guys for joining us. Tonight we have an amazing show. Of course, this is family. This is family. Okay. I don't even want to say friend to the show, but this is family. We have Shaq Stinnett is actually here tonight. So we are excited to talk to him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
My guy. Listen, when you talk about a dude who comes through with a crazy following and does not mind sharing his people with us. Like, I definitely appreciate that. Selfless
what
individual?
Oh, selfless.
Less.
Wow, that was close. That was close. I was about to call my doctor.
See, listen,
you got medication?
His cup was too tall.
Right.
That's what it was. What up, though, everybody?
What up, dog?
Yeah. What's going on?
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me out. This is super dope. I know I got to keep looking at the camera because I want to look at this dope setup that you got here, right?
With us. Yeah.
Because
Thank
this is,
you.
oh, man, I appreciate it, man.
Thank
I love
you.
to see the trajectory that you guys are on.
Oh, man,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We
brother.
trying, man.
We're trying to be like you.
Yeah, don't start.
I'm trying to host something.
You this weekend.
I'm trying.
This. Oh, okay.
We'll talk.
He trying to host something separate from me. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Lord Jesus.
It's gonna be one of those shows.
Right. It is gonna be one of those shows. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the Rebirth. Tonight we have a great show. Again, like I said, we're going to be talking to Shaq Stinnett about all the amazing things he's got going on. And we also have the founders of Delaware Caribbean Carnival is also going to be talking to us as well.
You did it twice.
Yes, I did. So stay tuned for that. And right now we're going to get to what the South got to say.
All right. What up, fam? Welcome to this week's edition of the South Got Something to Say. I wanted to touch on something that I had a really cool conversation during my wife's birthday party. Last weekend. She has a white friend who came out to the party, and in the climate we're in with Trump and politics and all that, we got to talking about black and white, which is the conversation I rarely get to have with another white person, at least one that's sensible and sort of gets it. But so we had a great conversation about race relations, black and white, but then she threw me off, Shay. She threw me off with this statement that we were talking about Caitlin Clark at this point in time, right?
Okay.
The WNBA player in Indiana Fever. We're talking about her. And I was explaining to her how I went to the Atlanta Dream Indiana Fever game when I went to Atlanta a few weeks back. And I was telling her that all of the white people there had on Caitlin Clark jerseys. And so she was saying that she don't see black and white. And I was like, I said, listen, I was just giving her examples of how we all do, whether consciously or subconsciously. I said, because you can't tell me all those white people that were at the stadium in Atlanta were from Iowa or Indiana.
Right.
You're not giving me that. So I know for a fact that these people were there. You know, you're cheering for the Great White Hope, which we get it. You want to see a person dominate the sport. Like we want to see a black person dominate golf and tennis. That's just what it is. You want to see a person who looks like you dominate the sport that's not traditionally set up for them to succeed. So then she hit me with the, I don't see color. And I said to her, I said, how do you not see color? And she was like, because I just see people for who they are. And I was like, Melissa, that sounds great. It really does. And I don't believe, because she thinks that a lot of black people believe most white people are racist.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I, for one, don't walk around thinking every white person I encounter is racist. I said, matter of fact, I don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you say hi, I say hi. If not, we keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not in the back of my mind, oh, they racist because we didn't say hello.
Right.
Or for whatever reason.
Right.
And I says, you don't see color because you don't have to. She was like, well, what do you mean? I says, I give you a prime example. I says, think about how the world is set up. The world is set up for, think about school desk.
Mm-hmm.
They're set up for right-handed people. How many left-handed desks are in your classroom growing up? Maybe one or two.
Mm-hmm.
Think about something as simple as your jackets. They're made for right-handed people.
Mm-hmm.
I says, you know why we don't think about that? Because we're right-handed. We don't have to think about it. It's not an inconvenience for us. Think about when you're to swipe your credit card, your debit card. It's over here.
Mm-hmm.
So left-handed people have to adapt to a world that wasn't made for them. I says, it's sort of the same thing with black and white. I says, it's not an inconvenience for you to be white. That's why you don't see it. It doesn't bother you.
Shoot, Frank, giving that education to her. Go ahead. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, when I put these on, it's over.
Yeah.
Take them off. But I'm just saying, man, like it's not an inconvenience because it doesn't affect your life every day.
Yeah.
And remember a few weeks ago when I was telling her about when Trump got all the felonies. I said, this won't affect him. He's never going to need housing. He's never going to need a student loan. He's never going to need that to get a job. So him being a felon, so there are things come with privilege and simply being white.
Right.
It doesn't mean that, you know, and so she got, finally she was coming around, but we both said it's going to be a to be continued on that conversation. But for anybody to say this world is set up in black and white, they're in the midst of, we could always sit here together and we could have a conversation. We could be like, yeah, there's some gray area in there. But when it comes to race in this world, it's literally black and white.
Yeah.
There's no gray area. So, you know, and so I was just trying to get that point across to her. She made some great points to me also that opened my eyes, but don't ever stop saying you don't see color.
Do you remember what was one of them? I'm just curious.
I don't, because I was so into what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
I was really trying to think right now.
It didn't stick.
But I was on one, so he was having a great back and forth flow, but I was on one. But you know, it's easy not to see things for what it is if it doesn't affect you, and that's really the bottom line.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's
all I've got to say.
Sound like you handled it very
I did well. And as I was handling it, I felt good inside because I was like, I'm not making myself look crazy.
Right.
But we kind of hijacked the party for a hot second, me and her.
Okay.
Because it was just us talking about, and everybody was like over there drinking and like what can y'all like, you know. But we had a moment, and I need to, like, you know,
communicate that.
That's right.
I think that if I can, I think that's key, right? So even when I worked in corporate America, it was good for me to have those types of conversations because for a lot of people, the only access they're getting with people of color, people like us, is what they're seeing on TV or social media.
Right.
So I think it's important when we have those opportunities to communicate effectively to people to let them know, right? As opposed to, like you said, you didn't go wild out or anything like that. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like they expect. No, not at all. Just communicate it calmly, let them know. And, you know, you don't always have to agree, like you said. You know what I mean? But as long as you put your point out, but yes.
You want to hear something funny? Sure. I told Trish Minogue this conversation. Trish said, yeah, she don't see color until she's at the ATM machine at 12:30 at night. There's a big black dude walking up.
She'll see color then. She'll see color then.
Exactly.
And he said, tell her this is coming from a white girl.
Anybody who says that they are not in some shape or form racist or whatever the case may be, really isn't being honest with themselves, right? Because we as black people, look, I grew up in a hood. And if I'm walking down the street and there's certain cats coming, I'm gonna look a little different at them than as if it's some dudes in, you know, a cardigan and a button-up shirt. You know what I mean? Unless they got tiki torches and shorts. Then I'm nervous.
I think it's just a trait that we carry as human beings. It's a fight thing. And it doesn't mean you're racist if you're afraid of a big black dude at the ATM machine at 12:30 at night. You're by yourself.
And you black, and you big and black. Yourself. He might be scared of you right back.
Exactly. Like we have to not be in denial and act like these things aren't what they are. It's okay. Let's dialogue about it, learn from it, and go forward.
I had last week, I had a white man say the N-word in front of me. And that's, I think, is the second time in my life it's happened. The first time was like straight at me, racist. But this dude said it so nonchalantly, right? And I don't know if it's because I'm this light skinned or whatever. He just thought whatever the case may be. And I let him go because his energy, as crazy as this gonna sound, his energy was still good.
Okay.
Right. So I let him go, whatever. And at the end, I said, yo, listen, because it was a business discussion. I said, I feel everything you said, except you use that N word.
Yeah.
Right. So I do take issue with that if you cannot use it again. And he explained to me, I'll be the first. He said that he's prejudiced, right? But not racist. Right. It doesn't matter as long as you don't use it. We're cool. Like, but the fact that he even, and we had a short discussion on it. But my thing is this: we can agree to disagree. Right. I would rather, and this is just me, not saying I want to get robbed, but I much more respect somebody who will come and take something from me than somebody that will pickpocket me. Right. Because you're being deceptive. So many people that we know, my neighbors and all that, if you watching this, smile, hey, Shaq, whatever. And then as soon as they get in their house, that new, right? So I'd rather this man just say it and express himself, and we communicated and got over it. And we know what it is. So man. Sure. But to say that it's not out here, that's impossible. It dominates our whole world.
Daily, minute by minute.
And every culture everywhere on the planet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and it's not good in our favor.
And you know, Shaq, let me ask you this, and then we can move forward, because I know we have people waiting. Shaq, so here's one thing I don't do, and I see young people do it all the time. They have a white friend who's down. Oh, nope. It's my N-word.
No.
I don't use that word in front of me. I don't want to hear that shit regurgitated back to me.
Correct.
Don't get too that comfortable. You don't even hear me saying it. Why are you saying it?
I am very cognizant. I don't like playing music if I'm in a company of Caucasians. Now, let me say this. I grew up in the Bronx where a lot of cultures said the N-word. I got Korean peoples that came up because we grew up in a melting pot, right? And we were all, that's my, you understand what I'm saying? Koreans, all that. But there's one white family on my block. He ain't never said in his life. None of them ever said it in their life. Unfortunately, y'all made it, and y'all made it negative. So ain't no way. I don't care how cool you are. If you got cornrows or braids or you be rad, you can't say it to me and think that I'm gonna accept it. So even with this, I said I respected him for how he did it, but no, I didn't accept that shit. And I didn't just sit there and smile it off.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, brother. You know what I'm saying? Since you out here using that, hey, listen, brother. Brother. You know, I don't appreciate, but you know what I mean?
I refer to the Eminem rule, the rapper. Probably the third greatest rapper of all time. We could debate that. It is what it is, Shaq. But grew up in the hood, 7 Mile, Detroit. Won't use that word. He says, why do I need to say that word? For what?
I'm sure
he grew up in the culture.
Yeah, but growing up in the hood, in the culture, in that area, I'm sure at some point he might have tried to let it slip, and them same dudes let him know, right? Because experience is the mother of maturity, right? That's the best teacher. So that one time he was in there rapping something, NWA, yo, man, and I'll never rap that again. You understand?
That was it.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? Oh, hey, man. Yeah, he got slapped right back to reality. But how y'all gonna start this Malcolm X talk with me on the show? We got our Caribbean Carnival people.
Yes, we are so excited. Let's bring him on to the stage. Eve and Eva.
Yes.
We just found out tonight, guys, that they are twins. Aren't they beautiful?
Hey, ladies, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for coming.
Hi.
Yeah, so how about we'll start with you, Eva. You can introduce yourself, and then we'll go to Eve.
Okay. My name is Eva Lee Fenty Marcel, and I am the executive director over at Caribbean Culture Awareness Incorporated. We are here doing something positive and beautiful for the community that reflects our Caribbean roots.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Eve and excuse me, sorry, I'm Evan Jerry. I am the co-founder, one of the co-founders. My husband is the other one, Ray Jerry, and we live in Delaware, and we just came here from New York as well, from Brooklyn, and we want to see more of the culture and the traditions here that we felt in New York.
Yes. Nice. Wow. Well, welcome, welcome. Thank you for
Yes.
coming through to the Rebirth. And we're very excited to hear more about what you ladies are doing and how people can actually be a part of this. So what made you decide to bring this? Because this is the first time we've had something like this in Delaware, right? Or am I wrong? I'm from New Jersey, so I'm not
Yeah.
really sure. Is this
Well, I know there has been the reggae fest. They just had it recently at Glasgow Park, so I think that's been a few times.
Well, it's been Caribbean events, but
Yeah.
Carnival is different.
This is different.
So, Eve or Eva, can you please explain to the non-Caribbean people
Yes.
what because I grew up in New York, so I understand, and not to mention you're don't know some is a yard man. So, seeing what it is like Carnival in Brooklyn and all of that, I understand what Carnival is, but can you explain to non-Caribbean people exactly the essence of Carnival?
Yeah, I would just say, and I'll let Eva Lee take this question, but I'll just say sometimes when people hear Carnival, they think of a cruise, they think of a Ferris wheel, and if they do know Caribbean Carnival, they think of parties. But it's really more deeper than that. It is representation of all the Caribbean islands. It represents our freedom from slavery. So we celebrate our ancestors, and it actually just it's our day to just be free. It's very spiritual for us. We're in our form. We're comfortable in our skin and our form. But Evilly, you can. She has a cleaner answer and probably a better answer than me. Go ahead, Evilly.
Oh, just put me on the spot. Okay, so we are originally from Trinidad and Tobago. We weren't born here. And so what we understand about Carnival even looks different than even your average Brooklyn Carnival, which everybody's familiar with. Here, they do a version of it, but I would say it has gotten away from the original look of Carnival. And we are trying to bring it back to that authentic state. So what our understanding of Carnival is, there's nobody left out. We go from every age, from the smallest child to the eldest adult. Everybody comes together. It's about unity. It's about that spiritual feeling of just having the entire, everything shuts down, right? And everything during that time, which up here they do it for a day. Back home we do it for the week, the month, really.
wow.
Because you got to understand it's something that, we take very seriously, because for us, the Caribbean slave trade passed straight through the Caribbean islands. And what we want to do is celebrate what we have. Okay. Most of our costumes are made from things that we recycle, which that's something that has become a big money maker here in the States. But back home, the authentic look of Carnival is that we make it from what we can recycle. Most of our music, the music that we love, the music that we actually focus on, is made from everything that you can find that probably was in the trash: a spoon, a bottle,
Car parts,
a car parts, a cowbell, old fashioned clothes scrubbing, or the grater, or a grater. These are the things that we grew up understanding. It's
and
not
our
about
famous steel pan. Don't forget the steel
and our
pan.
famous steel pan. That's true. Yeah.
So may
But
I ask
yeah.
a question? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Eve.
No, I was also gonna say, one of the things when we think about Carnival, it's in every state except Delaware.
Yeah.
So it exists in every state. And why not Delaware? Why, Delaware is surrounded by so many different states that people will flock into the state to come to Carnival. So we are sitting in the Diamond State, which Delaware is known for the Diamond State.
Right.
So
It
I
was,
have a
it was
question, ladies.
to us, it was just a shame that Delaware was missing.
Very true. I was so surprised when I heard that this was coming. I was like, wow, okay, okay, finally something in Delaware. Okay.
Do you think Delaware gets overlooked because it's near Philadelphia, it's near New York, it's near Jersey, Baltimore? Do you think it gets overlooked because of the close proximity to other places that have carnivals?
I'll take that. I think I've lived in Delaware for 8 years, and there is a Caribbean community here, heavily, especially a lot of Guyanese, a lot of Jamaicans, and even Africans. The Spanish Caribbean. I was just gonna say Caribbean. When we say Caribbean, a lot of people forget. Like we are talking about Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba, and they are heavily here in Delaware. When I moved here of 8 years ago, I'm like, I can't. If I want Puerto Rican food, I'm not sure where to go for that. And it's in New York, 2 a.m. in the morning. If I'm feeling for a roti, I can find a spot. But here in Delaware, yep, we don't see that. I didn't see the culture, and this was the reason why we said we started with Caribbean Culture Awareness. It was actually formulated in 2021, and we started the flag raising ceremony showing appreciation for Caribbean American Heritage Month. So once we did that, it opened up a lot of doors for a lot of Caribbean organizations to say, wait a minute, there's a Caribbean American Heritage Month. Yes, it is, and it's celebrated heavily in every state but Delaware. And so things just started brewing from there. I love to see what's happening. People are, I felt like they were kind of a little bit shy, but now something just lit a fire in them, and everybody is proud to be Caribbean right now. They're finding their roots. I had a customer who was Caucasian and told me he was from Trinidad, same country as me, and people are finding out who they are, and I really, really am here for it.
See, I think what people are also not understanding is that the Caribbean is the ideal melting pot, right? And it should reflect that here in the States. Because if you think about it, every walk of life ended up in the Caribbean as they passed through, right? Our culture is mixed heavily between Hispanic, then we have Indian or Asians, and then we have Africans. We have Caucasians, we have everyone, right? So we really wanted to see that reflection here, right? And it's a shame that everywhere has it but Delaware. So I think Evan said it correctly that there's been a spark that's been ignited, and a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing what we've done, what we do, and what we can continue to do. We recently just came out of a school, and we did something for the youth, and they had an amazing time. And I can tell you that there was every different kind of individual there, and it was just exactly what we envisioned. Everybody having this one goal: to learn, to have fun, to enjoy themselves, and to feel that connection to the Caribbean. I always say it, and I say it to our organization, and almost like every meeting we have, everybody pays a lot of money to go on vacation to the Caribbean, right? Everybody pays a lot of money to leave Delaware to go participate in all these events. It is a shame. We really wanted to just bring that and keep that here in the state of Delaware.
Yeah. This is really exciting, and thank you guys for doing this and bringing it. So how you got a question?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had a question. So how can people be a part of this? Let's give us the information. When
Dates,
is it?
yeah,
Dates,
all of that
how
good
they
stuff.
can be a part, links, all of that information, so we can make sure people are connected.
So there's a lot of moving parts to a carnival, and people are reaching out to us, hey, I need a costume, but we don't provide the yeah. So that's been one of the biggest I think confusion. We do not provide or make costumes. We can make them, but we're the organization, so we don't. What it is that we have different countries that are coming in, or maybe different states where they have people who is making costumes coming into the state to build them. These are handcrafted costumes. So we have people from New York, We have people from Miami, New York, Baltimore, Virginia. They're coming into the state, and they're bringing their. Oh yeah, yeah. So they're coming into the state and bringing that. So that's the first thing. So what we do is we'll promote these. They're called bands. We'll promote the band, and people can join that band. And that's one way of joining. They can reach out to us on our website, but it's a couple of parts. So we kind of like made it very easy. We kind of made it very easy this year.
Okay.
So it's like an intro because Carnival is an all day. You don't sleep. You're going from day to day to day. And
if you're in Trinidad, it'd be a week to a month. But over here, we do it in a couple days.
So over a week. We have Juve. Juve is the morning before Carnival. Juve is really supposed to be celebrated from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. and then you go to Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
But we have Juve the day before to teach people about it. But that is maybe a challenge for a lot of people, Juve, but it's going to be a really great experience because this is where you're getting paint, powder. Some people use oil, and you're being covered with this. Wow.
Okay.
And a lot of
people get back to that recycling feeling. You use what you have.
Right.
That's what it is.
But actually, Juve is my favorite event. Mm-hmm. Something about being drenched in all these different chemicals does something
elements,
to me. Yeah, and you can have fun at all different ages. Like all different ages can enjoy. So, we want people to come out and experience it and say that, okay, I've actually partaked in Juve.
And the music is different because that's where our calypso side comes in. It doesn't really have the music with the lyrics. It's more of that percussion feeling where you can bring those recycled instruments. You can pick up that Coke bottle or that can and crack it, pop it, hit it, and make the music. And you can blow a whistle, and you're part of the music. Everybody becomes part of it.
Yeah.
So is there since it's so many moving parts, is there like a place that people can go to look to see everything? Is there a website or anything?
Yes, we have. So we're on Facebook as well.
Okay.
And then, but we have our own website. So that's usacca.org. And if you go to our Carnival page, you can find out the information. We kind of have some instructions. We know it's new to a lot of people, and we want to make sure we give them that authentic feeling and for them to know what to expect. Different parts of what Carnival is supposed to entail. So as we grow, they can grow alongside us. So we really want everyone to go check out the page. We have some upcoming fundraising events leading up to that. We have one exciting one coming up next week. We have Men Can Cook. That'll be fun. I think it's our jerk chicken edition. Everybody does a little bit differently. So if you know anyone who you thinks they are gonna be able to best everyone else, we want them to come out and try their hand at that. And so that will be fun. We're giving out prizes there, and that will be fun.
Well, this sounds amazing. Yeah, this sounds like a really good time. We're gonna make sure that the information that you have, if you haven't already, sent to my producer so we can also put it on our website and our social media page so we can promote it as well. Okay.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing this to Delaware.
Yes, very exciting. Thank you so much.
We
really appreciate you, ladies. And like I said, don't forget to send that information to my producer so we can make sure we advertise and everything in support of what you're doing. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you
so much. Thank you.
All right, guys. So make sure that you check out the information. Sounds like it's going to be a great time. And we'll be also posting the information on our social media page. So, all right. Well, the man of the hour, Meshach Stinnett, what's going on? What's good?
If we talking about the Caribbean culture,
Oh boy.
Before it was super cool and all that, and we was having carnivals and all of that, me and my family was Jamaican booty scratchers.
Whoa. I thought it was African.
Yeah, but they said it for anyone. Whatever you was. Yo, you are Indian booty, you are. So the point that I'm making, back in the 80s, like before like reggae music started popping and all that, it wasn't cool being Caribbean. Like my mom, even in New York, my mom speaks so proper, right? Whenever she came to the school or you called on the phone, you would think she was from Britain. But as soon as she got tight, them look dirty, like you wouldn't believe it. So it wasn't cool at the time.
Yeah.
Until people started realizing, like, yo, they be wild in the islands, and the islands is popping and all of that.
Yeah.
And that's when it switched up. But yes,
so
I'm here.
When did it become dope to you? Like
when reggae started popping. Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Reggae started popping. For me personally, when Heavy D started doing the whole hip hop reggae thing as a big light-skinned Jamaican dude. It energized me. It activated me. That was it. Them no worry. So, but I would say this though, because we use the word culture now a lot. We've been using culture in the islands forever. We've said culture forever because we had a culture. Right. The Caribbean culture, I can speak specifically to Jamaican culture. Jamaican culture, our culture is love, unity, peace. It didn't matter. We weren't a rich country. We didn't have a lot of stuff, but we came together as a people. We banded together, and we was proud of who we were. Right. Like that's something that we're just starting to embrace in America.
Yeah.
With the African American culture, because prior African American culture was slavery and violence, and misogyny and all of the other negativity that comes with what they put on us as Black people. So as little as an island it was, like I came up with a sense of pride. My mother, my family, both of my parents is from Jamaica, right? So even though I was on the block in the Bronx, they was my mom's, because my pops, he's a Rastafarian. He wasn't. Okay. He's still there to this day.
Oh, okay.
Right. He's there in Spanish Town. That's not how they move. Yeah. Like I grew up. Like my pops got 5 kids, 5 women. Is what it is. I'm the 5th. It was like, you know what I mean. And that is just their culture. Right. Rastafarians are known for spreading their seeds out, and you got to remember, culture is just the habits of a group of people. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So I'm glad to see now that the Caribbean culture is so prominent. I love to see it in Delaware, right? Because she was right. Eve and Eva was absolutely correct. In every other city, it's prevalent. You'll go and there's just areas of just Jamaican restaurants or West Indian restaurants. The same way you have Chinatown. Yeah, but we didn't have that here. And one thing that I will say, I think the reason why it took a little longer to catch on in Delaware, because in Delaware, y'all could get mad at me, I'm the messenger. Y'all don't have that same energy and vibration, that party, get together. Caribbean people is about, like, I learned, like, I promote events and got into all that because I grew up seeing my moms and my family throw basement parties, a bashment.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And my friends come over like, yo, it's popping. Right. So that's the culture, and that's where we grew up. Here in Delaware, people wasn't coming out as much. They was hesitant to spend money and things like that. So when the Caribbean promoters, shout out to Elite Ent and everybody, because listen, Reggae in the Park changed the game. Right. So shout out to Eve and Eva. I'm glad that Juve is coming in the Caribbean Carnival, and y'all can piggyback of all of that. But Reggae in the Park changed the game.
Yeah.
Not just for the Caribbean culture, for the Black culture. When you can put 15 to 20,000 people in one place at one time in Delaware, no issues besides heat issues, right? But no violence, no nothing. When you can do that, that sets you apart from everybody else. They've done it 2 years in a row. They brought Serrani this year and did it, killed it. And next year they're gonna have somebody super big. So I'm happy that I was associated with this year.
It's free.
Free.
It's free. I was out there.
If everything works out right, I will be co-hosting next year.
No, it was free 99. Yeah, I'm saying that it's such a dope event.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
You know what I mean? They could have put gates up and charged people. They would. I think they'd have got the same amount of people out there.
But that goes back to the whole Caribbean culture. So I mean, prior to me doing Ladies Love R&B brunch, all the events, you know, you would come out to my events. It was open bar, free food. Right. Because once again, that is a part of our culture.
Yeah.
To feed people, to welcome people, to be hospitable. Right. So their whole thing was to get the right funding and resources. And I can't speak for them. Shout out to Sue Yan, and shout out to Mega Chin and the whole rest of the team. I can't speak for them, but by getting the whole Matt Myers in Newcastle County and all of their other partners involved, and they had almost 100 vendors. By getting all of those people involved, now listen, they could have still went and said, okay, we still gonna charge y'all, we gonna get that money in our pocket. But they understood what it meant for the culture, what for an event, a free family fun filled event meant to them, and they pulled it off.
Yeah,
it was dope.
Yeah, super dope. I can't wait till next year.
I was impressed.
Can't wait till
here
next
before
year.
you know it.
So one last question for you.
Yeah,
where are these Jamaicans in their everyday life? I've never seen
we
them.
here with these black jobs. We're here with these black jobs. Go look in all the you find Jamaicans, go into a hospital and holler at all the nurses. Just go blup, and you go blup. No,
don't
seriously.
you do it?
Like
Jamaicans,
like, so I don't know about now, but like Jamaican women, like they dominated the nursing industry. My mother, my aunts, everybody, because it was an industry where you could just go work hard and make hella bank.
Money.
You know what I'm saying? My mom's came up doing it. She was the head nurse in Einstein radiology department.
Nice.
It put her through college while I was in high school.
Wow.
It funded me. She then took care of me, and she showed me the whole way.
So, you're the only child, right?
I'm the only child. My mom said after. So she was in labor for 36 hours.
That was it.
My mom's was in labor for 36 hours with me. And finally was like,
that's a whole week of work.
Hell no. That's overtime.
That's 4 work shifts.
She knew I was gonna be extra. She was like,
I was gonna say special. You said
extra. Grand opening, grand closing. Shout out to Bev, yo. We went through that with me.
Yes. Very much so. That was awesome. Well, thank you for that history. Seriously. Yeah, I love that. I love that. So let's talk about what you got going on, man.
Out here working.
Yeah, you out here doing the damn thing.
Out here working, yo.
Never sit still.
Nah, man, I can't. Yo, listen. Since I am an entrepreneur, everything. Damn, I done broke it. I didn't even say nothing. I broke it. They was like, "Wait, you speaking too much truth." Since I'm like, he like, wait a minute, that's too many jewels.
Don't worry.
Rebirth don't want to be a part of it. All right, listen, the views expressed by me are not a part of. No.
Good. It's
right.
Okay.
So look,
don't worry about it.
I would say this every day that I'm not working and hustling and grinding, I'm unemployed. Shout out to my man Mark Blair on real estate. He put me onto that. Every day that I'm not out grinding, I'm unemployed because I don't have that corporate check that I used to have. Yeah. So I have to be out there.
Yep.
Even when I'm tired or I don't want to, or there are no days off. And social media makes it a lot more easier because now I don't have to be in people's faces. I could just utilize social media. But now I'm out here grinding, man. We, shout out to Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Delaware.
Yeah,
I've really enjoyed being their brand ambassador.
Yeah.
I look forward to the future. It was actually just in the papers today that they received their federal and state funding for our youth enrichment center, almost $1 million.
Oh, wow.
So we are rebuilding our youth. We purchased the land, 2 acres down in Dover. Okay. We're rebuilding the youth enrichment center. We're going to put multimedia room. We have a washroom for the kids. Yeah. It's not far from Dover High School. Right. Yeah, so students can just make their way over there because we realize that, man, the more free time that these kids have on their hands is the more opportunity that they have to go down the wrong path. Yep. So we need to give them a place to come to and hang out, and not just hang out and do the stuff that we want them to do. Like, hey guys, come play Uno. Like they'd be like, what? Like we need to show them, yo, you can come in here and learn how to podcast.
Yeah.
Right? You can start your own because the world has changed.
Right.
The things that we were used to, the things that were important to us is not necessarily as important to our current youth.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
I welcome the opportunity to speak to them. I was just at the DSU Future Leaders program.
Yeah.
So I spoke to the high school kids last week about the dangers of social media and the importance of protecting your digital footprint.
Right.
Right. Because I know that if social media was here when I was in Del State, they kicked me out my freshman year. They would have kicked me out every single year.
Wait a minute. You got kicked out your freshman year?
I got the same person that they ask sometimes to come talk to incoming freshmen. I was just talking to the DSU Future Leaders program, past brand ambassador for Delaware State University. I'm the first one to tell you it is not how you start, it's how you finish. And when I went to Del State, fresh out the Bronx at 17 years old, I wasn't being extra. I was just being me.
Right.
And 36 hours of labor, you already know that's a lot of me. And I would never forget, they pulled me in. There was like this big thing and with all these New Yorkers, and I didn't do anything illegal. But they pulled me into the office, right? Right. I said, I didn't right. But when they pulled me in, she was like, "Yo," she was like, I said, "But I didn't do anything." She said, "Meshach, we've been hearing your name since day one. You've crashed a motorcycle your second week on campus. Damn, we know all of this stuff. But see, this is the thing with being Meshach. If I was a Mark or a Michael, Michelle, or my brother, I would just blend in. But my whole life, I've always been one. I've been one-on-one.
You've never been another Meshach.
I've met another Meshach.
Okay.
The way that first off, I had to name my son Meshach.
Okay.
But they don't even call him that. They still call him Izzy. But I will tell you really quick. I was in Baltimore maybe like 10 years ago, and the universe never makes mistakes. Right? The universe will always show you that you're where you need to be at the right time.
Yeah.
And I was in Baltimore, me and my wife, we got out the car, we parked, we're walking down the street, and there's a family, and the parents is walking and the kids are behind them, and me and my wife is in between, and the lady turns around and says, "Meshach." I said, "Yes." I said, "Yes, excuse me, yes." She's like, "I'm talking to my son."
Oh, wow.
Right? And her son, Meshach, was behind me. But the thing is, you have to remember that moment of time, any other difference, I was late. We didn't pay the toll, whatever. And we're not right there at that moment. And at that moment, she was like, "Meshach." And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
Right? So it's very rare that I've met other Meshachs. Like it's been like two. But I did name my son Meshach, and hopefully there will be a Meshach Stennett the third down the line.
Yeah.
Because it made me stronger too.
That's dope.
For sure.
Shout out Meshach and Abednego.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, because that's where Radio Shack comes from. It was one of the many names that people used to make fun of me growing up. Horse Shack, Radio Shack, Horse Shack from Welcome Back Connor. Anything that ended with ack, meat rack, anything that you could think of. Right. And I could have chosen, I was light skinned with freckles. My moms were screaming, "Meshach," Jamaican out the window. They didn't know what was happening on my block.
Right.
And I could have chose to just retreat. Right. But I chose to just be me. And it just made and embrace it. Like, yo, yes, I am a Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I got freckles. I get it. Y'all don't get it. But yeah, there's people from other parts of the world that look all types of ways. So going back to the Caribbean culture, they're all over. So my family went from India to Jamaica. But my father's obviously they from like Scotland to Jamaica to so that's where all of this comes from. I'm the lightest one in my family. I'm the white sheep.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I'm the blackest one inside. Don't get it twisted. When I came to Del State, yo, it was hard coming to an all-black college, but I knew once I realized it was a black university, I knew this where I was coming.
So you didn't know. You were just enrolled.
Growing up in New York, you don't know about black colleges. We don't have black colleges. And being from a West Indian family, when we went away, I went to Jamaica. like literally. So I got that
vacation.
whole that was vacation. Like I was going in, my mom's was sending me. We would go for like a month during the summers, and I would go over there and visit my father, and we would spend time. So I wasn't coming down south.
Right.
Because we didn't have a lot of family down south. So I didn't know about the HBCU culture. And then school days popped off and different world popped off. And I'm like, where are there all Black people in one place? And did our research. I went to Mount St. Michael Academy, very prestigious all male academy. And from there, you're supposed to go to Ivy League. And I went into my guidance counselor like, I'm going to a Black college. And he was like,
crazy.
Then he was like, that is not what your mother paid tuition for. Right. And once again, that was a stigma as well. So I love to see, shout out to stay true. I've always stayed true to my HBCU. Shout out to my whole team there. But once again, even when I first started corporate America back in the 1900s, the stigma was if you went to a Black college, you was JV. You wasn't as smart and you couldn't do as much. That's why we would go in there and bust our asses and show everybody from DuPont to Chemours to wherever. To by the time I was leaving the Chemours, because they sent all of finance to India, they had to come back and say, Misha, can you stay with us? And I'm a product of Delaware State University. There was a lot of Ivy League people they didn't say that to. So we would always have to go and show ourselves, but I'm proud of it. Once again, I embraced it. I embraced that challenge. Like, oh, we're not as good. Well, okay, let me show you.
Bro, you know how many people I've supervised with the UD, UPenn, Drexel, Widener, like these little people, they little LSCW. I'm your boss. I'm with Lincoln.
See what I mean? Right.
So that none of that, as far as I'm concerned, I know people they really get into that distinction and all of that right there. At the end of the day, is as an adult when you're in the workforce, none of that shit really matters if you're not a quality employee.
It's who you are.
It's who you are.
What have you done for me lately?
For sure.
Yeah.
You know, I love when you come because I love hearing you talk. I love hearing you. I always walk away feeling inspired and learning something new.
Right.
When I have conversation with you. So that's good.
Let
me say that again.
Let
me say that again. I love when you come.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, my wife Illy. Just in case you only saw the start of that, she better come on the show. All right, I'm sorry.
I love when you come on the show.
Okay. Yeah. You know me. I would make it spicy.
Put hot sauce on it, dog.
Yeah. Tahini.
I love when you come on the show.
Okay.
Because it always leaves me feeling inspired and learning something new. You always bring that education with you, and you know, I love that. So
Shaq, I got a question back to Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yes.
I heard you say you guys are, you know, you get the new facility together and all
Correct.
that. When I think of Big Brothers Big Sisters, I think of mentors, one-to-one and all of that. Sounds like you guys are shifting the direction that you guys now you have a facility that the kids can come to.
Yes.
So talk about that. Why this move into the building and not just so you know you're assigned to a kid and that's your kid for however many years?
So the shift from traditional one-on-one mentoring is actually very strategic, right? First off, it's hard to find. We have a lot of kids that need help.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find qualified mentors, adults to take the time out to give them that necessary time, right? That takes a lot. That takes a lot of vetting, right? To get those people to come in. So what we realize at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Delaware is group mentoring can be just as effective and impactful if we could get somebody like you guys who've been through it to come in and talk to an entire group. And let them know these are the things we have going on. It helps us as opposed to trying to say one-on-one.
Yeah.
And we realize that there are so many of our youth that need our help.
Absolutely.
I know that mental health is one of the topics that you guys focus on, is one of the topics of this month. Our youth, a teen's mental health right now, we don't realize how fragile it is. Right? We're just so, you know, as we grow up, we're still looking at our experiences and thinking, oh, we could just brush me. I'm like, yo, I could just be tough skinned. If they make fun of me, I could just learn to make fun of people back.
Right.
You know, right? That's not everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
And these teens have to navigate social media.
Yeah.
And they have to
right. So
different game.
When we were children back in the 1900s, If you were being bullied, you could retreat to your home, and God willing, that was a safe place,
Right.
and nobody could get in and come and make fun of you. And at least until the next day, you felt safe. I'm not speaking from experience because I used to give people fever if I felt that way, but that has changed.
Mhm.
You can be bullied at school and come home, and the bullying continues via social media
Mhm.
or via text messages, because once people have your number, they can just group
Yeah.
text you and say whatever. So it's hard to escape that, and that weighs on our teens,
Absolutely.
right? And that's why we've seen the suicide rate increase
Mhm.
significantly. And listen, especially in our community, because when I was at the DSU Future Leaders Academy last week, I asked the question, how many people in here, and this is all high school students,
Mhm.
how many people in here know someone personally or a friend of a friend that has committed suicide? And out of the 20 something students, I believe 7 or 8 raised their hand. When I did the numbers, it was 30%.
Mm.
If you would have asked us back in the
Mhm.
day as a high school class, how many, you probably had, Liam, I'm gonna break this shit. Please don't charge me for none of this. Please. I don't have it. Big brothers, big sisters, I need you to send another check for Rebirth. Listen, oh my goodness. I just heard my Cash App ring off. Did y'all send me a request? Um, but if you'd have asked that same question back in our time frame, you'd have had maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Suicide wasn't as prevalent, especially in our community. Not to say it like that, but we'd be like, yo, that's a white thing.
Mhm.
But not nowadays, because our teens cannot run away from society,
Yeah.
social media.
Yep.
And it's so hard for them. And I think that it's hard for us.
Mhm.
I'm a parent. So my
Mhm.
daughter's in the class,
Yeah.
right? The high school class. I got a daughter that's in college. She'll be a senior next year at Dell State.
Oh, congrats.
Right?
Okay, good
Yeah.
stuff.
So I see how hard, and I remember when I was young and I would look at like females, if they was like super fast or whatever the case may be, I'd be like, oh, they probably ain't grow up without a pops
Mm.
or that type of thing.
Yeah.
But now, after raising children with me and my wife, I know that that has nothing to do with it.
Mhm.
Zero.
It goes back to just who that person is.
Mhm.
We can do as much as we try to do as parents
Mhm.
to instill in them the right values, but they are going to be who they want to be.
Yeah.
And as much as we talk and we might sound good and intelligent, these sexy reds and these Megan Thee
Whoosh.
Stallions,
Yeah.
they have a lot more influence
Yeah.
on our youth than we do,
Yeah.
even the guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard
Absolutely.
dudes talking about get it sexy. What? Excuse me?
But that's a whole different generation now.
It is.
I
It
think y'all
is.
will be
So,
great.
so I think that's a reason why I'm truly honored to be the brand ambassador of Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Delaware. And listen, when it comes to branding, it's not easy.
Mhm.
It's not like business where I was an accountant and you just put in your investment
Mhm.
and then look for the return and do the calculations. Branding is different because you have to get in people
Whole nother
involved.
beast.
You got to get people. You
Yeah.
can't. They can't just
Buy
see it
in.
one time. They
Gotta
have
be
to
buy-in.
buy in. So everybody who has come to my event for all these years and, oh, Shaq, what can we do? Now is the time.
Mhm.
Sign up to be a mentor and listen. There is a process. We have to vet you. You have to
Mhm.
give information. If it was your child, would you want your child?
Right.
Somebody just come and
Right.
sign them and say, "Yo,
Facts.
let me come be around your kids," and we just
Facts.
let them in. No, we need to
Yeah.
do a criminal background check. We need to know who you are before we put you with our littles. But that doesn't mean we don't want you. That just means we are being vigilant
That's right.
of who
You
we're
have
bringing
to.
into these kids' lives, because we don't want to take them out of a bad situation and put them into worse.
Something worse.
Do you literally get pushed back because people need to be vetted?
You have to remember, when you put something, anything, if you put it online, every additional step that a person has to take, whether it's clicking or doing something,
Mhm.
they're less likely to complete the
Yep.
task.
Yep.
Right? So that's why when you go in, if you need somebody to sign their name, it got to be like, yo, click this button and sign your name.
Mhm.
Right? Because if you got to click this button and then say you're in Delaware and then sign your name, you might
Yeah.
not get that signature.
Our attention
And it can be
span.
for free stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So now just imagine us as adults. Now
Mhm.
imagine these kids, yo.
Yeah.
They are instant oatmeal generation.
Yeah.
Add water and they want it right
now.
there. Whether it's Grubhub, whether it's
DoorDash.
Google, whether it's AI, they want to
Yeah.
speak in the air and they get something.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Poof.
Yeah.
Like the Jets.
Yeah.
The Jetsons, right? And that's the world that they're in. So
Moving towards it.
we gotta
Yeah.
kind of keep it like that, like to kind of condense it. So that's why we went to more
Yeah.
like the group mentoring.
That's what's
Wow,
up, man.
that's a great idea though,
It does make
because
sense.
I mean, where Eli and I met at was a program that no longer exists. It used to be called the Brandywine Program, Intensive Outpatient Treatment, and we were connected to Big Brother back then. But the problem was there was never enough mentors for our kids. It was like always
Wait
a
list
wait.
was crazy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
wait list was always crazy. And then I just didn't hear no more until you started talking
Yeah, I
about
thought it was like a
I
done
thought it
deal.
was the,
Yeah, I
yeah.
thought it was a
Until
deal.
you start talking about it again, I was just like, oh, okay, great. But the first thing I thought about was how are they going to be able to service all these kids in need? Because I know people,
Yes.
yeah, the mentors.
It's
so I like
hard.
that group idea. That's really good.
So
Yeah.
Big Brothers Big Sisters of Delaware is the longest running mentoring program in the state of Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
This year we celebrate 60 years.
Wow.
We're
That's
doing our
awesome.
60th year anniversary on Sunday, September the 29th
Okay.
at the Executive Banquets Conference Center.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna be giving away some awards, but
Nice.
just understand what it means of 60 years of service to the community.
Absolutely.
Like you said,
Yeah.
you thought it was out of here.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why, once again, I'm honored to be the brand ambassador, because that's where influencers come into play. Right. So for all you corporations that's hollering at me or thinking about getting at these influencers, that's the whole purpose of it. Right. The fact that you can get into an industry or reach a group of people that already are being touched.
Yeah.
Why reinvent the wheel?
Right.
Why say,
right.
oh, I want to get at, when they realize they want to get at HBCU alumni, products of single parents, right? Why go try to reinvent that and keep talking? Find someone who's already out in the community, who already has that brand loyalty and trust. And if your brands align, let them do the work for you.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So
good.
that's why
That's
I
good.
keep screaming Big Brothers,
Yeah.
Big Sisters. Not just me and because I'm the brand ambassador, because it's something that's impacting our community.
Right. And it's needed.
And it's needed.
It's
Just like the
definitely
DSU
needed.
Future Leaders Program,
Mhm.
I can't sit back as a parent or as an elder, right, in my community and just talk about the negative impacts of hip hop or whatever else I've seen if I'm not trying to put out a positive message as well.
Right.
I hear so many parents just complain about our kids this and our kids that, but then we'll be like, yo, go do whatever you want to do. Here's $50, get out my face, because it's a lot easier to do that, right? And let society raise our kids. My only thing is I got my 3 kids. I'm not perfect, right? Me and my wife, we make our mistakes. We try to raise our. My youngest right now don't want to go to Jamaica with us. Who don't want to go to Jamaica? Exactly. Like, if there's another Marley Stennett out there, come show your ID and we could bring you to Montego Bay for 5 days, right? So I'm not trying to say that we're perfect of doing it, right? But I know that myself and people, I've met so many great people out here in Delaware, right? Entrepreneurs, right? Business professionals, leaders in their industry that have, it don't necessarily got to be money, but the time and the knowledge as a resource to give back. So that's why I'm just really trying to promote that.
Yeah.
The building makes sense. It really does.
It does.
Yeah.
Our Youth
I'm
Enrichment
excited for
Center
it.
right
Yeah.
down there is
Right
close
by
to
Dover High,
Byler's,
too.
right by Dover High. So
Nice.
after school they can come through. We're gonna really do a lot. We did a trunk or treat there back the end of 2023, and we were looking to get 100 people. We had over 500 people show up,
Wow.
which just goes to show you
Yeah.
that the community wants it,
Yeah.
right? Because you could do all this stuff,
Yeah.
but if the community and the kids don't show up, the community show that they
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
They need it.
For
They
sure.
definitely need
Yeah.
it.
We need it.
That's good.
Good
Good.
ish, bro.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
for
man.
sure. Now I know you have the ladies
Ladies love
R&B,
R&B
ladies
brunch.
love R&B brunch.
When the last time you been?
Give that Yeah,
It's time to go.
been a
You gotta
while.
come down.
Yeah,
Eli, you
I
enjoyed
get it.
yourself?
It's like.
You know I'm all.
So can I ask you then?
Where
Because
did you go?
both of you, he's
I
been
did go.
there.
I
Both
came
of
with
you
my
have been
boys.
there. Yeah,
Oh,
I kept that
okay.
footage on tuck. But listen, can you tell me how was your experience?
Oh man, it was dope. It was something
Mhm.
different that I've experienced here in the D. Just grown and sexy. Great food. The music was great. Tanny Speaks killed it on the as an MC. You of course you did your thing.
Thank you.
Shout! I was Dolo. He still shouted out Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a dope event. It's grown and sexy. You gotta go. I want to go down there. I want to go down.
We
to
all
Warren.
have to go together,
That is
though. I
Warren, though.
know.
Yeah, I went when it was kind of chill.
Yeah,
but
we have to go together. It's like, like you've been booked and busy, and that's how it's been. It's like every time you guys have it, it's always something I got going on, or I'm away, or something.
Only 2 weeks out.
But we're gonna plan to all come down as a
Please.
team,
Yes.
and we'll let you know that way. We'll have every
Yes,
we'll,
we
we'll
have a
set
table
up and
ready
all of
for
that.
you.
Yeah.
Get there early.
Come
chill.
down, come chill, have
Yeah,
some
we
of that.
gonna for sure. But I mean, I've been watching it. I try to share it every time you do something.
I appreciate it.
And I'm like, this is really grown because
Yes.
even from the last time I was there,
Yeah.
it's way bigger
In
than
a
that.
short period of time,
I'm
we
like,
have
wow.
we have grown significantly. But once again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier about just the universe, right? And certain times it's just time for things to happen.
Yeah.
So all those years that I was out here calling myself a promoter in Delaware and going and doing the Lux and all these places, and it just wasn't working out because the energy wasn't reciprocated. Even if people came out and was crowded, it wasn't, once again, going back to the whole Caribbean feel, it wasn't a good party energy vibration.
Right.
Everybody's just on their phones talking to the same people that they know. That's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So when we started the brunch, it started as a part of homecoming, right? It started as I Love My HBCU brunch.
Right.
But then what I saw was the ladies that were there were the ones that really embraced it, right? So I said, at the end of the day, why am I worrying about the fellas? Ladies Love R&B brunch is what it is. We were going to all these different cities. I'm gonna be in Atlanta tomorrow. Shout out to Atlanta. I'm going to the SWV Escape.
Nice.
The R&B tour. Yeah, I wish it was a State Farm. It's like some amphitheater.
Nice. Okay.
My wife looked at the Yelp. It was like lock your car doors. But no, so I love that energy. I love that energy. I love stuff like that. So I was going to all these other cities, and that was it. Like people singing. Like in Atlanta, I would never forget. This was when I made shout out to the Uptown Car Club. Shout out to my man Biddy, because my car club is down in Atlanta. So I'm down there a lot. Shout out to DJ Poppy. Shout out to Nikki, the whole family down there. Shout out to Kels. I'm sorry. Because I want them to watch this, and I don't want them to you forgot me. But I would never forget. I was in the club in Atlanta. It was about 2-something, 3 in the morning, and they playing all this trap music. And next thing you know, the DJ just starts playing slow jams. And it didn't stop the energy. Everybody started singing it and feeling it. And I'm like, that's what's up. Right? Because that's what it is right there. That's the type of vibration that I like. Yeah. And I said, we're gonna try to get that here. So shout out to Tanny Speaks.
Yeah.
She wasn't the host at first. And when I started, she came up and sang. She came up and sang somebody else's guy, and she brought the house down, and she has been our host ever since. But not just the host of Ladies of R&B Brunch. She's become a partner. Like, we work together. Yeah. We just hosted HBCU Week's Red Carpet.
Okay.
We're doing a lot of big things. You're gonna see us in the VIP experience for Duffy's Hope.
Okay.
Which is coming up August 3rd. But we brought her down. And the one thing that I explain to people is we just not in there eating and drinking and all that. Like, we're singing. We do games. We do the lyric legend where you tell us the name, the end of the song, or we play an old TV show. It's an interactive experience. You singing, you're dancing from 1 to 6 p.m. every first Sunday of the month. And when people leave, they just leave feeling good.
Yeah.
For sure.
I just like to know when I see all of these people leaving, and it's just smiles on their faces, and they like that smile right there.
It's peaceful.
And it's peaceful and it's great. And that's just what we're doing. So every first Sunday of the month, if you have a good energy and you're about those vibes, come down and be a part of it, man. Ladies of R&B Brunch. You can find us on all social media platforms.
Okay.
Is there I feel like when you hear you cover everything, but is there, before we get out of here, is there anything you may have missed that you may want to reiterate before we wrap up?
Thank you. Big brothers, big sisters. Our 60th anniversary celebration is going down. We're gonna have the Suede Lace Band. We're gonna have DJ Mega Skills. It's gonna be a great event. September the 29th, which is a Sunday. Speaking of Sundays, every first Sunday of the month, you could catch us at Ladies Love R&B Brunch. I'm the curator of that dope ass event. We got Tanny hosting it. You know what I'm saying? Fellas, y'all not coming, but that's on y'all because the ladies is all there and we loving it. Can't forget, I'm gonna be hosting Glowcella coming up September the 15th. Glow will be back at Glowcella outside of the Queen. Nice. It's an indoor-outdoor event. I didn't make it last It's going to be on Market Street. She has Market Street closed down. Nobody else can close down Market Street for a black event. Shout out to Glow, the #1 star tender in the state of Delaware. Glowcella's coming up. We'll be hosting that event. Shout out to True Access Capital. I'm hosting that annual celebration. It keeps going out. It's working. And for real, all jokes in the corner, like I always say, I'm just appreciative of any corporation, brand. Yo, Sally Mae, holla at me. Any brand, any company, anybody who feels that who I am as a person, because I'm always just gonna be me. I'm always just gonna be who I am. Anybody, any brand that feels that I align with you guys and you bring me in, although I be breaking things. I really do appreciate y'all, and I will not stop saying thank you. And every opportunity that I get, I'm gonna make sure that I put your best foot forward. Nice. Radio Shack, Misha Extended, get at me. Mine's Brandon.com.
My God, bruh. Thank you once again. We appreciate the energy, the information, and just your entertaining flow, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
that was fast. I love it, man.
Always a pleasure.
So once again, thank you for having me.
You're
and
welcome.
Continue to grow.
Thank you.
I love the fact that every time is bigger and better. It looks and sounds better. And I'm just all for it.
Thank you.
So continue the live events, continue this. And anybody out there, make sure you lock in Rebirth Live.
Word.
Yes, that's coming up October 26th. I have a big announcement. I will tell you off air.
Thank you.
But I'm gonna
I saw you smiling when you said it earlier.
Yeah, man, I'm taking a step out on faith with this one, and I'm very excited. But again, it all goes with the whole Rebirth brand. So I have an amazing team, and I'm so
I know what it is though.
Yeah.
You starting a bandana brand. You have to see her 90s R&B singer pictures. She got the bandana on. That's what it is. Bring it back. Hey, any singers? Listen, but seriously, any singers? And I need to say this really quick, right? And I'm sorry. The whole thing with the brunch, it's still hard for Delaware people to get up there and be a part of the entertainment. They're too cool. Like, just loosen up. It don't matter. We're not looking for professionals. Just come and be yourself.
Come have a good time.
Everybody's a star every first Sunday of the month.
Yeah.
Ladies Love R&B Brunch. End Zone, Smyrna, Delaware. Oh, and I almost forgot. Our power partner for August is Focus Pharmacy, a Black-owned female pharmacist in Smyrna. We have a Black-owned pharmacy female. Shout out to Dr. T.
Nice.
And they are official partners because Smyrna is the next Middletown or whatever city in Delaware that's gonna pop. And we have a lot of Black businesses. Shout out to Social Domain, shout out to Brandon, shout out to Toya, but shout out to Focus Pharmacy, our partners for this month. DJ Kibi, we bring it straight from Baltimore. We popping. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you, Misha. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. And make sure you go to rebirthyou.com. Like, share. We're on all social media platforms.
Absolutely.
On all podcast platforms. And stay tuned for the Rebirth Live. That is coming up October 26th. So we'll be dropping who's going to be hosting as well as all the people that's going to be on the panel this year. So we're very excited about what's to come. All right, guys, until next week, have a great week. God bless.